Five Nights at Freddy. Oh, I hate that.
I had a dream.
Of Freddy.
Why is this your Martin Luther King speech?
Jack Murayama in my dreams
Yo.
succinctly
Jack
describing his opinions on the FNAF movie.
You think?
And that was in my mind before I went into it. So I had like some deja vu ass thing where I came into the film already knowing exactly what to expect from the dialogue, from the script, from the writing.
Oh,
And then I watched the film and it all was entirely 100% correct.
Bro, I feel like this is all, that's the Halloween part, bro. That you had a weird premonition about my opinion.
I saw today's podcast episode before any of us.
Because honestly, it sounds like it was probably just me remembering what you said about last week's episode.
What did we review last? Killers of the Flower Moon. I love Killers of the Flower Moon.
Are you saying Five Nights at Freddy's is as good as Killers of the Flower Moon?
Oh. I gave Killers of the Flower Moon like a 9 or a 10, I think.
But like, I don't recall what
It could be anything. I hate on a lot of things.
Yeah, but it's
Mario.
like... But
Mario,
you also had,
Mario.
in my dream, you also had specific comments on certain scenes. Oh, fuck me.
I don't remember
listened-
talking about the trailer, but
I listened to a podcast where they were talking about the FNAF film.
Oh, you
I was
just
remembering
imagined
that,
me as
but
the
I
person.
projected you onto the
Oh.
podcast I was listening to. They spoiled scenes, but they talked about it out of sequence.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to actually understand what the actual plot was. So I was surprised when the movie
Plot?
did.
What plot? Some would say.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
that was maybe, I don't know if it was me,
Yeah,
but
true.
maybe I would say that. Did you like the movie?
I enjoyed my time, but I thought it was kind of a shit movie.
I would completely agree.
I fucking hate this movie.
For once, I watched the movie with a friend,
Yeah.
Nice.
and we both knew it was going to be shit, and we were just laughing at the film together. That's what made
Did you
it
see it in the
enjoyable.
theater?
Yeah.
It was. We watched on Halloween night. Actually, we
Yeah,
did a Halloween.
right.
We had a Halloween.
Oh yeah,
screen.
I watched it with my friend had 2 free tickets,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
so that's why.
Yeah, we watched it
Yeah.
with also with Ibrahim. He's a big FNAF boy.
Yeah.
I would say I'm a medium FNAF boy.
I'm not.
I'm also
I
not a
played the
FNAF boy.
first one back in the day, and I feel like off the bat it needs to be addressed because I feel like apparently that is meant to influence your enjoyment of the movie or some shit, right?
I mean, with anything, if you're a fan of a series and like you see-
No, not really, because you watch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes there'll be like hidden little things, but this is more than just hidden
there's
little
a
things.
bias. That's what I'm saying.
This was a lot of unexplained shit that is explained in the games, right? And it had Ibrahim confused because he thought it was canon to the games, but it's not. It's nothing to. It's an adaptation of the game.
Bro, it's a
separate
real
universe, whatever.
experience like they had back in the day with the theories, man. Always confusing and
Yeah.
Pat
No,
fucking you up.
that's bullshit. I will break it down more, but there's a lot of just unexplained shit that people are like, yeah, but you see, you don't understand. It's in the game, so your criticism doesn't count. I've heard that argument so many times
That's just
from
cool.
people I know who've just been like, well, you should have played the game. Like, what? It's a movie adaptation, bro.
That's just cope.
And I know,
Hardcore.
you know what made me kind of pissed off is when Ibrahim's like, well, you watch the Marvel movies. What? You don't have to read the comics to understand the movies.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What are you on? What sort of copium are you on here? What the fuck is going on?
The main takeaway from this is that Scott Cawthon is a
Cunt,
40-year-old,
apparently. Apparently he's
50-year-old
not a good person,
yeah,
from what I've
who
heard.
is just trying to squeeze as much money out of his fan base as possible.
I mean, I would too if I was him.
Because
he's a
Scott-
producer on this, right?
he's a producer, but he
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
This is
scrapping the
made during
screenwriters.
COVID as well.
Yeah, he
okay,
keeps
yeah.
scrapping the screenwriters.
Which,
because
yeah,
they-
if he's
and
a
directors.
producer, he does have ultimate
But
control.
he keeps doing it.
But yeah,
Then write it himself then. But I guess he won't.
yeah, because, I don't know.
It's like,
And
all
why
my
is
games.
this the
guys.
script he chose? Okay.
He wrote a book, so like
He wrote a few books. My sister has
Yeah.
all of the FNAF books.
And they're all canon to the games, right?
I think so, yeah.
Whereas this is, to clarify, this movie is not canon to the games. I don't know if
Yes.
anyone else out there thinks it is, because for some reason that came up in our call, but it is not. It is an adaptation.
The mindset of the
Yeah.
FNAF kids. They
So
be like,
you
"It's real."
should be able to go into this without knowledge of the games. That is kind of the expectation.
Yes.
I didn't need to know who Mario was to understand the Mario movie. The Mario movie, I will say this up front, was better than this movie.
Yo, a new height.
In that
for the Mario
regard,
movie.
actually, did I enjoy myself in this more? This was shorter, I think.
Yeah. It was,
So maybe this one wins on that regard because it was shorter. I don't know. I feel like this has the exact same compliments I can give for the Mario movies. This movie looks good. And that's like the biggest compliment I can give to both of those. So this movie is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Freddy.
What's the story?
This is a story about Michael Myers. Not Myers. But Michael is a very troubled man.
He beats up security guards in a mall or something.
No, he is the security guard.
Sorry, he was the security guard who beat up a dude.
Yeah.
He has PTSD from when he was little boy.
Yeah, because when he was a little boy, he got beaten up by a security guard. So that's where the trauma clearly relates, right?
Generational trauma.
It's the reflection, whatever you said, it's the symmetry. Just to clarify, that did not happen. He was not beaten up as a kid. It kind of has nothing to do with his actual trauma. But I guess it's also never addressed again, I want to clarify.
True.
Yeah.
So we have Michael and his sister. Little girl. So Michael is security guard.
But no, that's not the main story, though. Dia, I think you're missing the complete point of the movie. The point of the movie is he has a sister, right?
Yes.
And now the aunt wants custody of the sister. So for the movie is actually just a child custody battle. I think you completely missed the mark here, mate.
Oh, you might be right there.
Yeah, I don't know what movie you watched, mate, but I was clearly watching a powerful family drama here, mate. Where there was, it was really a succession. There's a lot of power plays and stuff with the family that it was really strong. It was just
I got too immersed in the surrounding context.
Yeah,
of the story.
the surrounding stuff that doesn't the core story. You understand is custody battle. Okay, I'm obviously joking here, but you can kind of see where I'm going to be going with some criticisms. But
yeah, so Michael, he is security guard. You know, he was at a mall, but then he did a naughty. And then he lost his job. But then he goes to his guidance counselor like in high school. And he's like, yo,
great.
Yo, can I get a job? And dude's like, yeah, bruh. I got this place called the Five Nights at Freddy. You just need to sit there and like jack off.
Because he doesn't do his job at any part of this movie. The whole point of at least the first game was to do your fucking job.
True,
like that's the entire game. It's basically a job simulator, but with horror elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't do his job at all in this movie.
That is a big defect.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
But then we get exposed to this child custody battle.
So that's at the start. That's why he needs the job.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the main plot, so they had to establish it pretty early.
That is the emotional plot. Yeah. They don't have parents because they disappeared or something. I wasn't paying attention.
They
never got that. It, didn't they?
Yeah, they never explained it.
We kept saying. Well, I mean, you can say something happened to his brother, right?
Yes.
And we thought it was just the parents.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't think, we knew it was like something to tie into the main plot. Well, that's the other plot line, right?
The Freddy.
So it's like, what's the? So you're saying it's kind of so the storyline is either the custody battle, or it also could be, hey, is a security guard at a fucking spooky haunted place, or it could be the story about a man who journeys into his memories to retrieve the secrets of a childhood trauma and see if he could do a bit of a detective work and figure out, hey, what's going on here? As you've probably already noticed, there are probably at least 3 storylines in this movie, but they have to somehow tie them together. They have to somehow be related.
Yes.
And do they do that? I feel like that's spoilers, but I don't know. I would say they did not do a great job.
They did it to an extent.
One of the storylines just abruptly ends with no consequences. All right. Well, I feel like there was no good performances in this movie. I thought everyone was bad, but
I thought Freddy was good. The
cupcake
was really good.
The cupcake was pretty good. Everyone's saying Josh Hutcherson was really good. I don't agree. They just think he's hot, but he was probably better in the Hunger Games. I thought he looked like a jigsaw victim for the entire thing.
Oh, they had a jigsaw moment.
Yeah, they have a few jigsaw moments in this one. Right? Yeah.
Cool
so the movie, do you think it's scary?
No.
No. What about you, Zoe? Do you think it's scary?
I'm doing my best impression of Balloon Boy.
Oh, that makes me so... You know how pissed off I was about the Balloon Boy shit. We'll talk about that in spoilers.
They had many funny attempts at jump scares that were not scary.
All right. I was... Because this is a minor spoiler, but we've already kind of brought it up, all right?
Yeah.
There is a Balloon Boy thing in the movie, right? So if you come in here and, like me, not knowing who... I know I've seen Balloon Boy before. I don't know who he is. He has nothing to do with this movie at all. But they just randomly cut to, here's a jump scare of a random thing, often in a random location that has nothing to do with the movie that felt just so out of place. Like, This is like weird fan service, I guess.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the this is my example, all right? It's like if you're watching, let's say you're watching Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and then like Harry Potter's going about his day, and then suddenly Mad Eye Moody jumps out. Mad Eye Moody from fucking Goblet of Fire jumps out in the middle of the first Harry Potter movie. That's the sort of vibe of this balloon boy.
It's early foreshadowing for the sequel.
I guess so.
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Dumbledore asked calmly.
Yeah. Do you remember in the movie Batman v Superman when the Flash suddenly appears and goes, "This is something's gonna happen in the future. Trust me, bro." Yeah. But there is a scene where Batman's just like chilling out, then suddenly the Flash appears, like in a vision thing, and goes, "This is something's gonna happen in the future," and then it disappears, and it doesn't affect any of the movie. Is it similar to the Balloon Boy thing? I think.
Funny fans.
Ideally, if you're assuming that Balloon Boy's going to be paid off in the future, and by the way, that Flash Vision was not paid off in the future because Zack Snyder got canned. This movie, I think, mostly follows the early games, right? Except then they draw in random shit from the newer games, like Vanessa.
Yeah.
Yay! See, Vanessa.
People are mad about Vanessa, by the way, because of the twist at the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. The twist that he predicted, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of this movie was predicted.
I also saw coming.
Yeah.
I also saw that coming.
Oh, the reveal of the killer as well. We predicted that in the first scene when we met
Exactly.
him. So it was like, oh.
The only good acting was the mid-credit scene.
Oh yeah, the person I didn't know, but Ibrahim knew because it's some YouTuber or something.
Which we'll talk about later. If you guys don't want to be spoiled by a cameo, do you guys even care?
Well, the audience. We'll leave it to the thing, right?
It's just a Robert Downey Jr. cameo.
Yeah, the way they also do cameos in this, I feel like it's not the way you do cameos, where it's just like there's a cameo in a diner, right? That personally, I know the person, so it was fun for me, I guess. But they also spent like maybe even too much time making it super obvious who they were and what their deal was. They say some iconic stuff that they say in a way that like. You don't really see in other movies where they do cameos, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're watching your average fucking... Like, we watched Killers of the Flower Moon, right? And, you got some actors in the later half, right? You had, like, John Lithgow and the other, the whale.
The Scorsese cameo.
Yeah, they had cameos, but they weren't going like, "Hey, it's
I
me.
am the Scorsese.
Scorsese to go, I'm the Scorsese."
Hey, Tin Mask Casey saw.
Or start quoting Goodfellas or some shit. But this has a similar vibe to that. Yeah.
True.
Also, did you know Markiplier was meant to be the security guard at the start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But he busy. He's doing a submarine movie or something.
What did I give for Aria, by the way? I don't know.
Like a 4 or 5?
4 or 5. That's
4 or
right.
5.
Because I remember this was before. I was like, I don't hate it that much, but it's just like everyone's telling me to love it, so I hate it more. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's similar to this. There were elements of this that I liked, and I feel like it's just the costume design, all that stuff. There were elements of it that was fun, but then they'll do complete tonal whiplash. Like there's moments where you're kind of like hanging out, having fun with some characters. Then suddenly a character will be like, "I told you not to have fun," and then you're like, "But you just said have fun a second ago." Do you know what I'm talking about? It's probably we could talk a bit more about sports for specifics, but like, yeah, I don't know. There's just moments that was probably my favorite part of the movie, by the way, where they're having fun.
Yeah,
because the attempts at horror weren't very good. In terms of age range, who do you think the ideal age range for this is? Because
Like,
I remember something
teen.
that the person we watched the movie with us was saying, "Oh, the Five Nights at Freddy movies aren't kids' games. They're rated PG.
They are kids' games.
They're
At the
literally
time,
like
they still
for
are,
parental guidance. It's not even. This movie is rated higher than the game. At least the first one.
'Cause they
And
got
I
the
assume,
Mordor.
Yeah, stuff obscured in shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it's fine.
Target audience wise, yeah, I think this is made for like early teens, maybe pre-teens.
Or would it be? I guess, yeah.
And the fans from back in the day, which is what the fan service is for.
Yeah.
But for general audiences, it'll be for kids.
It's really
Well,
the
it's not.
kids
It's
who-
M, so like I don't think
I
it is
guess it's
actually for kids. It would be for
mid-teens.
teens, yeah.
The kids who
I don't
played
know.
FNAF back then and they have now grown up.
But I feel like because this movie, I agree with that. I think this movie is way too not scary enough. If that because this movie
Yes.
feels like it could be shown. Maybe kids will get scared. Oh yeah, you know the weird thing I noticed is I assume we all like at least consumed some sort of FNAF media when we were like actual kids, right?
Sure, yeah.
Do you,
watched
do you
the
find it's
videos.
weird that this movie is literally about like the whole FNAF lore and stuff is about like kidnapping kids and like
Oh,
creepy
it's a
pedo fucking guy
cautionary
in a
tale,
suit?
bro, for the kids.
But like we loved it as kids, and
It's like,
I just
oh
find
my
that very
God.
weird. But also like, damn, that is something maybe we didn't think about it that much when we were kids or something.
Probably.
I don't know.
I mean,
No parents ever complained.
They definitely didn't
yeah, we
frame
find
it
that shit
that
at
way.
school.
With all
Yeah.
of like the activities that you actually had to do to figure out lore, I guess in the
I guess
story,
yeah.
there was.
But this
it was
movie
more a
makes it
mystery,
super
but
obvious that
this
it's
is very
about a
obvious.
dude who, yeah.
Yeah.
Kidnaps kids, and I guess just kills them unless
Yeah.
he's a pedo.
I
You
guess
can't
the
show
stuff
pedos
that
in
isn't
the movie.
obvious though is that Blue Boy thing for one, unless you've played the games. The way magic works.
Oh yeah.
Also, I'm not a huge fan of the way they mingled magic with like real.
I don't think it's like
Stuff,
magic.
it's
Like,
not-
they're trying to explain it as
It's supernatural, but
formulate
it's magic,
my
right?
head into thinking about the
No,
past.
there's legitimate magic. There's dead people coming back to life.
That's
What do you-
that's just a spirit.
yeah,
Logic.
that spirit thing, but also someone. We won't get specifics, I guess, but someone can control them through magic. Also, some drawings have magic powers.
I
The
thought
dude's
that-
visions are kind of magic. That's kind of
Yeah.
you gotta admit, it's kind of
See,
magic.
If
But
you
yeah.
put in the spirit world logic, I guess
Magic and supernatural's the fucking same thing, though.
But magic's much more like wizards and Harry Potter, bruh.
That's because you think of Harry Potter.
There were
Bruh.
ghosts in Harry Potter too.
Magic is just science
They
or
say
something,
in
right?
like
I don't
another
know.
a different horror movie that the funny demon is magical.
But I guess the supernatural stuff, which is, yeah, the fact because I want to emphasize that they have powers and they can do things like teleport and shit like that, and like there's 100% teleportation. There's no
Is it-
fucking way that something happens to involve a fucking one of the puppets getting out of this thing.
Did they just walk
Do they get
very
into it? Are
fast?
you telling me they got into another fucking cab and like somehow made their way across town and like
They're just very fast.
entered someone's house? And, like I guess maybe they are fast. I don't know.
How do they explain the games of how fast?
But that's
they are?
the point. You shouldn't have to look to the games to explain the bullshit in this movie. They don't explain how the villain can control the puppets, right? In the movie,
They just said, "Oh, he
they
got
just
Yeah,
say
they
he
don't.
does. They don't really explain how drawings can.
They
Dude.
do explain it. They explain it as he's a genius.
he just gaslit the kids."
No, because it's kind of fine if you chalk it up to technology, but the thing is, they're not using tech. They're saying he's a genius because of his technology prowess,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But they're not saying it's because he's a wizard. If they made it, he's a wizard, then they're confused as to what they're trying to accomplish here, as whether they're going a science route or a not science route.
Yellow wizard.
Well, it's a fusion. 'cause
It's
the
like if
animatronic-
the movie Mithrigan, another Blumhouse
Yeah.
one. This is like directly related to Mithrigan. This movie somehow like it's
Yo,
like
they're
no,
in
no,
the
sorry, not same
multiverses?
universe or anything, but like produce
Okay,
production
yeah,
team.
yeah.
Also, all the puppets are made by Jim Henson of
Yeah,
Sesame
yeah.
Street fame. Yeah,
Technology.
if it Mithrigan, right? They committed to technology being the
Yeah.
source of all this supernatural stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
imagine if Mithrigan went, oh, it's supernatural and it's AI. That's what this movie is trying to do. It's trying to do both. Like it could easily just have explained everything away by like, oh, he used AI to do the suits or something. And
Yeah.
that would have made more sense, right? But they said it's supernatural stuff to do the suits. And they could have just made him be like, oh, maybe I'm I'm like Annabelle's creator or something, you know, where I made some supernatural puppets and so on. But they try to mix both, and I don't think it worked at all. Maybe they do it better in the games. I don't know. Would you say
They're
they?
just
They
trying
don't
to
explain
force
it in the game,
the-
so they leave that to the
Yeah.
law for the fan base to figure out.
That's so fucking lazy. Well, oh no. But if there's established law, as in like
They
it is
establish.
pre-written or whatever,
They.
it's not like the fans didn't write it themselves, right? I assume.
No, but there's a
Mm.
there's a level of which people accuse Scott Cawthon of actually stealing theories off the internet.
No, you just watch the Mad Pet videos. Like, yeah, that
Yeah.
I wrote that.
Maybe.
He
Good.
takes credit for people's bizarre theories that seem true enough because Scott only leaves us enough breadcrumbs for us to do a little bread trail.
Yeah. Look-key the Marvel formula, which is like, yo,
Oh.
what do the fans want? Oh, they want Secret Wars? We'll do Secret Wars, that's fine.
If the fans can figure it out in a way that they can actually draw a line from the really vague shit that we're doing, then we've done it right.
Yeah.
In that sense.
It's called outsourcing.
Yeah.
Also, I know this is probably explained in the games 100%, but it's just funny that they need a security guard for the pizza place that's been closed down for years.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that in real life.
Yeah. It's for
Unless it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, there would be a reason to have a security, but there isn't for this one.
Well,
They're just like,
in this movie, they explained it as like, in case of property damage, which
yeah, but like,
also,
that's not really, unless they had like cases of break-ins or something, but they don't.
and this happens.
Especially when, you
often.
know, maybe there's a break-in and then the
Yeah.
cop reports the break-in and doesn't, like, the cop mentions it, but maybe doesn't investigate because they're not a cop. Just a theory.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna pull out my film theory thing and
Just a
say
theory.
Vanessa in this movie isn't a real police officer because she doesn't
Oh.
investigate anything.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Also, she kind of just winds up not doing her job. Well, that's why the romantic tension between the two characters are because they both shit at their jobs and they both
Oh.
decide to not do their jobs and hang out when they're meant to be doing their jobs.
They keep hanging out. Yeah, Vanessa.
There is
only
a
hangs
legitimate
out.
theory though that she's like a plant by the villain, but we'll get more into that. in
like
spoilers,
an
I guess.
industry plant.
That's people say, but like, I don't know. Also, I guess it's worth pointing out now that we've already mentioned Vanessa. She just shows up out of nowhere, and he just accepts her suddenly, despite
Yeah.
her obviously not being a real cop. There's nothing about her that screams cop, except
She's
the fact
wearing
that she wears a
uniform.
uniform and drives a police car. But like, I could do that in GTA, okay? And like, fuck that.
She also has the keys to a special police outpost, and she gets radio calls in from her colleagues.
Yeah, I could
That's
radio call
fake
Dio.
colleague.
Does
Yeah.
that mean shit? Anyway,
Yeah, or maybe she
Oh,
shows
sorry,
up out of nowhere and then comes in the pizza place, be
and
like,
then
hey,
stays
man,
there for hours,
And
just
just
not doing
stays
her
there.
job.
and then explains everything to the guy.
This is why America's in crisis, why crime is rampant in the streets, because cops are going off to their pizza places and just hanging out with dudes. Oh, I hate the trope of you know everything, but you just don't explain it for the sake of plot.
Yep.
And this character is just the embodiment of that.
I was trying to save you from the truth.
She absolutely was not. She was just a dickhead.
Yay.
She's the one that with the random character switch where she's like, let's have fun. And then suddenly goes, I told you not to have fun. I was like, no, you didn't. You said a second ago it was fine. Main character's terrible at his job as well. They're all bad at their jobs. Everyone sucks. The end. I think the robot parts are fun because they're kind of so bad it's good vibes.
Mhm.
Everything else, like a lot of this plot is custody battles. Like that is if I was to say what the main plot is, I think that is the core of the movie. But also maybe the finding what happened to the brother. But that's really, I feel like that's one of the more poorly Well, I think this is all spoilers a little bit.
Spoiler zone, spoiler zone.
Because what I hated about the credit music was the first sound you hear is Freddy going or, and then it transitions into the Tombstone song.
Yeah,
And they should have said that in the movie, but Freddy
they did
didn't do
not.
it.
no.
That is the most
They're
anticipated
all mute.
moment.
Yeah, so
Except for the was it Foxy?
Yeah,
or
Foxy
the,
talks.
Foxy does it.
Or does like a little song, hums, yeah.
Humana.
Also, that's the other thing. We knew who the characters was purely, but no, I know the characters got introduced right in the movie, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like there was not enough to distinguish them in terms of like their actual characters or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're just all the same generic animatronic. That like you
Yeah.
know who the characters are more because of who they are from the
Yeah.
game. I wouldn't say that any of them stood out at all. Even Freddy, I feel like was just the same as everyone else.
I think the cupcake is the most
Yeah,
impressive.
I would actually agree. The cupcake was probably the most recognizable, and maybe Balloon Boy, who is never named. So like, why are we even calling him Balloon Boy? Because we know from the games because he keeps going. Ooh.
Yes, Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria. I thought it was funny, but it was still a suboptimal movie. But it was a fun watching it for the first time. I won't watch it again. Yeah, if you like your Freddy's, you might like this one. But overall, with the funny plot and the unreliable lore links or subplots, it's kind of bad. The characters, be also suboptimal. So I'm gonna give this one a 4.
FNAF fans rejoice. Apparently, what the people I listened to on another podcast were like, the crowd all being FNAF fans and having that atmosphere of people cheering for references really made the experience.
I heard the same thing.
They went or.
But I like my roommates are FNAF fans, right?
Yeah.
But they know it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
Because I know this is a pretty shit movie.
Yeah.
But I had fun shitting on the movie. Let's go for...
He shot in the cinemas.
Maybe I don't want to give it a 4, but I don't want to give it a 3. But I also don't want to give it a 3.5, so I'm going to give it like a 3.69.
Ooh.
Sure. This is weird because I do give it a 4, which is higher than you. Because it does have just the production design's really well done.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah, you know what? Production design, I'll bump it up to 4.
it's not an offensive no, it kind of is, honestly. It's like one of the highest grossing movies of the year now, some shit like that.
Easy.
I don't know. I guess this sets a precedent of lazy video game actions.
They called it a box office smash.
This is the era of revival video game
I
movies.
think I gave Mario a 5, which is like an average movie, right?
Yeah.
I think this is definitely below average. Because Mario had its problems, but it felt like this is not the sort of movie that I can really watch without... Because it's got a lot of boring stuff in this movie. Whereas a Mario movie,
Yeah.
I don't think it was totally boring because it had like a lot of colorful stuff on screen. Because like kids
Yeah,
can
very
enjoy. I feel like
visual.
this one's just a lot of court stuff, like the legal drama stuff. It's just really boring. Yeah, I don't know. The pacing just wasn't great. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this one maybe a 4.
That
but-
gives us
Yeah,
a 4.
I think it would be like a 3.7.
Nice, he bumped it up to 4.
Oh, a 4. Oh yeah, come on, 4.
There's your 4,
So not
folks.
good.
It made
Not
pretty much 10 times the
good.
budget.
Under average.
Yeah.
Suboptimal.
Like
But
every horror
yes.
movie does that, but also this is a franchise thing. So
Yeah.
can't wait for the sequel.